Hello, hello. Hey, it is Tamara and it is Monday and I'm here. Yay! So hopefully you guys had a great weekend. It's very toasty in our neck of the woods in the Pacific Northwest. It's supposed to be like 97 today or something like that with a heat advisory warning kind of thing. It's very toasty, very toasty. So hopefully where you are, maybe it's not quite so hot, or maybe you like it that hot. I don't know. Dry heat is always better, right? The humidity and the heat kind of makes it sucky. But what I wanted to talk about today is all things surviving the pollen season. We're in a new location for me than the past 20 years, right? And I remember when we moved to Camino, there were a couple of years where the pollen flying around everywhere just really, and with everything in bloom, really bugged me. And then I think, your body gets used to it, and so then you don't have as many symptoms anymore. I am having all the symptoms. So I wanted to kind of dive into that hole there and talk about the things that can help you with that. This will also help support like mast cell activation and histamine intolerance. So mast cells, what they are is they're immune cells that take part in a variety of physiological responses. They're located in your tissues and along your blood vessels, and they release substances like histamine that fight infections or allergic reactions, okay? Mast cell activation can be localized. It can also be systemic. Examples of tissue-specific consequences of mast cell activation, that includes like getting hives, the welts that you can get on your skin, inflammation, redness and swelling on the inside of your nose, the feeling of your chest tightening and maybe you can't breathe as easy, just kind of feels constricted, right? Systemic mast cell activation presents with symptoms involving two or more of the organ systems. So that's what mast cell activation, systemic mast cell activation is. If you have two or more organ systems that are being affected at the same time. Okay, so that would be like your skin. If you had, the welts on your skin, the hives, if you have swelling that's similar to hives, but the swelling is under the skin instead of on the surface. And if you have flushing, if you have for your GI system, you can have nausea, you can have vomiting, you can have loose stools and abdominal cramping. For your cardiovascular system, that would be like fainting or near fainting, increased heart rate for any reason. For your respiratory system, that is that feeling that constricted in your chest, right? Like you can't breathe, and wheezing. For your naso-ocular system, that would be like bloodshot eyes, itching of your skin, just feeling like whatever, you feel so itchy, it's not fun. And nasal stuffiness, okay? So that can result, all of those things can result from the release of mediators from a specific site, such as your skin or your mucosal tissue, or activation of mast cells around the vasculature, okay? Allergens trigger symptoms in your nose, in your throat, in your lungs, your ears, and your sinuses. And I just thought that you might like to try something a little different if you suffer from these symptoms. Maybe you already use some of these things, but maybe you hadn't heard that this might be beneficial, that kind of thing. So we probably all diffuse essential oils all the time, right? Constantly. And you probably do too, but I switch up what I'm diffusing depending on the year and the time of year and any sort of, symptoms that I might be having. It's that kind of thing. So these are some great things to try. And if you're watching this and you're like, this has really worked for me, please share that in the comments, because we can all benefit from that, right? Because not every person is the same, and maybe, the standard, the lavender, lemon, peppermint that really works well, but maybe it's just not quite cutting it for you. and maybe you've got a blend that really works for you. And I'd love if you'd share that in the comments, because we could all possibly try that and see if that maybe works for us too. So the first one is lavender. Lavender is really, really good at all those things. It's a natural antihistamine. It possesses strong anti-inflammatory properties that will help to relieve a lot of allergic symptoms. If you have nothing else with you and you are traveling, make sure you take lavender with you. I have a roller in my fanny pack. And if maybe I forgot to take my Tri-Ease, right? Because that's one of the things that I've been taking. We'll talk about that a little later. If I forgot to take that and all I've got is my lavender, I will roll it on my finger. And if you put it on your nose, kind of around your nostril, don't put it inside, right? Because we don't put oils inside our nose. But you put it around, you can rub it on the bridge, kind of on the sides, that kind of thing. Makes a world of difference with any itchiness, any watery eyes, any draining, your nose is dripping kind of thing. Works like really well. So you don't want to be without your lavender, okay? It also helps to support your mast cells. It promotes a good response for stress and anxious feelings. It helps with helping you to sleep, right? Because it's relaxing. Supports your immune system, and it helps to soothe sore muscles and joints because it is relaxing, right? This one with doTERRA, you can use it all three ways because it has that supplemental fact label on it right there. So you can use it topically, you can use it aromatically in your diffuser, and you can use it internally, okay? Next one would be peppermint, right? Minty, minty, minty. Peppermint, it's very potent, right? As all these oils are. It's really fresh. It is very minty. It helps to open clogged sinuses almost immediately. Also helps to clear any brain fog that you might have going on due to that. It has anti-inflammatory properties. It has pain relieving properties and decongestant properties, okay? So it really helps to open your airways, and it can help to relieve a scratchy throat. Super, super beneficial to use that. Another one, if you haven't tried it, is holy basil, which is also called tulsi, okay? That's one that I kind of forget about, but it smells really good. It's very good in the diffuser. That one helps to reduce the inflammatory response of any allergens that might be flying around, and helps to support your immune system. It has antimicrobial abilities and can help to remove toxins from your system as well as clear your airways. It helps to support stress relief, heart health, and helps you to soothe any skin irritations. So maybe you want to put your lavender and your tulsi, your holy basil, together in a roller and make a roller ball with that, right, to apply topically. It contains anti-inflammatory properties and also vitamin C. So you can use your tulsi, because tulsi on here just has the ingredients list. It does not have the supplemental fact label, right? It's just got ingredients list. That can be used topically and aromatically. Okay, so you can make a roller, like I said, with your lavender and your tulsi, and or you can put it in your diffuser. Same thing, right? Another one is going to be eucalyptus, right? Really good to open up your respiratory system, make you breathe, help you to breathe easier. It really helps to open up your sinuses, and because it does that, and it's opening up your lungs, right, your respiratory system, it's also helping to improve your circulation, which helps to reduce the symptoms of allergies, okay? It works as an expectorant, but it also has anti-inflammatory and analgesic effects, has antimicrobial, antibiotic, and antiseptic properties. It helps to support your respiratory health. It can help to ease joint pain and muscle pain, and it can also help to relieve stress, right, that you might be having because you're frustrated that your nose is all stuffy and your eyes keep watering and, the whole thing. So this one can be with doTERRA. Again, it just has the ingredients list because there are a couple, is there just one? No, there's a couple different kinds of eucalyptus in this, a couple different varieties. So it has the ingredients list. That means you can use it topically and aromatically, all right? So good one to put in your diffuser. Super helpful for your respiratory system. Super, super, super. Then another one is going to be lemon. Lemon essential oil kind of works as a natural antihistamine, also helps to relieve any excess mucus that you might have, and it cools down your inflammatory reaction that you might be having. Helps with respiratory conditions. It's also known for its antibacterial properties. That's why we always use it in like cleaning things, right? When you're cleaning stuff in your house. It's best used in a blend with lavender and lemon and peppermint, right? That's the kind of the trifecta, right? And that is what is in Tri-Ease, and these are the soft gels that you can buy. Super easy to take, so it's a really good thing to have on hand, because sometimes you may travel somewhere and not really think that you're going to be affected by all the pollen flying around in the air, and you are. And then that sort of sucks, because especially if you're on vacation or visiting somebody, you don't want to have a runny nose or stuffy nose or, you know, red itchy eyes, that kind of thing. And this makes a world of difference. And it's so convenient to take. They're little soft gels. I just take one in the morning. My recommendation is don't take it too late in the afternoon, because I did that one time because I was just so congested. Helped, you know, I took it in the morning and it worked great, and then I took another one in the afternoon because it wore off, and I had a hard time getting to sleep because of the peppermint in it kept me up. So I would recommend not doing that, but it works. It works so good. Okay, so back to lemon. Then this can also help with respiratory conditions. It is great for mast cell support. It has anti-inflammatory properties. Just a really great one. Lavender, lemon, peppermint. Try that first, because that's kind of the go-to that works for a lot of people. And then you could always add in, you know, if you're making like a roller bottle of that, you could always add in some eucalyptus or some tulsi, or the other ones that we're going to talk about are frankincense and ginger and myrrh, right? So frankincense is our next one. That is super good for mast cell support, for anti-inflammatory properties. It helps to support your immune system. It supports your respiratory health, helps to reduce stress. Very good, helpful for just grounding you and calming you down, especially in the diffuser. When you diffuse it into the air and you breathe it in, really helps with that. Has antimicrobial properties, and it eases muscle and joint soreness. So great, among other things. Frankincense, right, is just the king of oils because it's so good for so many things. This, if you look on here, frankincense has your supplemental fact label, and so you can use that one all three ways. You can use it aromatically and topically and internally too. Frankincense is also what's known as a enhancer oil, and so if you added that to your lavender, lemon, and peppermint, it would just kind of give it a little boost to make it work even better. So that's something you can do. Okay, another one that you might want to try is ginger. All right, that helps to promote mast cell stabilization. It contains antioxidants. It helps to support your digestive health and can help to uplift your mood. Again, has that supplemental fact label on it, so you can use it all three ways. Yeah. Also helps with nauseous feelings. And then another one, and I took the label is not on this one. I just have the little round label that goes on the top, right? I have that on the front because I made a rollerball before doTERRA came out with their Myrrh Touch, right? I made a rollerball. And this has a different, I put a different lid on this. It's one of those pop top ones, because as you can see there, myrrh is very resiny, and it will, in the one that has the regular reducer like this, it clogs up. The last time I opened the lid like that on this bottle, the whole thing came out, like the lid and the reducer piece and everything. It just crystallizes. You can keep it warm. I know some people, once they start to use their myrrh, they will add fractionated coconut oil with it, and that helps it to crystallize less. So those are some tips there, but I just find that this flip top lid works really good. But myrrh is really good. It has been shown in research to help reduce inflammatory cytokine levels, supports mast cells in several ways. It has strong anti-inflammatory properties, excuse me, supports pain relief, and it has antimicrobial properties. It's great for your dental health and your gum health. So if you make those, if you do oil pulling and you make like those oil pulling bites, it's a great one to add to that. Okay, I have a couple of blends that you can make, some roller blends that you can make. This particular blend has some great mast cell supporting oils. So in like a 10 ml roller, you can add 10 to 20 drops of each of these. And that would be basil, regular basil, not holy basil, not the tulsi, but basil. Helichrysum, okay, marjoram, and then also peppermint. Yeah, peppermint in there. So these four, so marjoram, peppermint, basil, and helichrysum. In a 10 ml, you can add anywhere from 10 to 20 drops of each oil. And then you're going to top it off with fractionated coconut oil. The place to apply it would be your pulse points, the bottoms of your feet, up and down your spine, the back of your neck, back here. Super, super helpful. The nice thing about the peppermint, if you're hot, it will also help to cool you off. So there's a bonus. We talked about the Tri-Ease, right? You can also just make a roller with lavender, lemon, peppermint, equal amounts of each in your roller. Doesn't matter what size, just put equal amounts of each, and then top it with fractionated coconut oil. That one you can apply up and down your spine, back of your neck. Good to swipe it underneath your lip. However, it does have lemon in it, and so you want to remember that if you're going to be out in the sun, hello, the sun's out today, that you put it where your clothes are going to be covering your skin, because lemon has kind of that photosensitive reaction with the sun, right? So it can kind of give you a burn. Okay. Essential oils to avoid if you have mast cell activation syndrome, or if you have kind of like a histamine intolerance. There's some essential oils that you shouldn't use if you have mast cell activation, excuse me, and you also have the histamine intolerance, because they can have effects that make your symptoms worse, unfortunately. So it doesn't mean you can't use them at all. It just means that maybe if you're having those types of responses that time of year to the pollen flying around, right, then you might want to avoid these. And that would be clove, and any blends that contain clove, that would be on guard. Because clove is histamine liberating, and that just means that it causes the mast cells to release histamine, okay? So it causes more histamine to be flooded into your system. Cinnamon, and any blends that have cinnamon, that's also histamine liberating. Citrus essential oils, don't use those if you're having any of these symptoms. Don't use them internally, because that can kind of compound the effects that you might be having. Juniper, any pine, any spruce. If you are allergic to those tree species, you might want to avoid those. And then the Roman chamomile. If you are allergic to ragweed, you might want to avoid any chamomile, whether it's the Roman chamomile or German chamomile, right? You might want to avoid that, okay? Like I said in the beginning, if you have a blend, a diffuser blend or roller blend that you really works for you, and you would like to share that, please put that in the, for when the pollen's flying around, right, and you're trying to support your mast cells and your histamine intolerance. Put that in the comments, because I'd like to know. I'd like some new things to try, perhaps. But these things that we talked about, the oils that we talked about today, and putting them together, they can really make a huge benefit. Like I said, right now, Tri-Ease is my best friend. I'm not missing a day. I know that if you find local honey, that can also help to relieve symptoms. And that's one thing I haven't really looked for yet since we moved here, and I need to get on that. I haven't looked for it because I still have honey left over from before. So I know that local honey can really help with that too. So if you have any other things that you have used for, when the pollen's flying around and you want to share those, put them in the comments. All right. I'll be back next Monday with another topic, and I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful week. Okay.